So my experience with Harvard Law School's legal education, especially the Leadership in Corporate Counsel course, has been fantastic. Of course, David Wilkins and Scott Westfall are great teachers. They've done a wonderful job of presenting the material and engaging the class and bringing another perspective to a lot of what we've been thinking about. But the class itself has been a great source of learning. It's a very diverse group. They've brought together people with varying degrees of experience, different industries, different geography, backgrounds. It's been a wonderful experience to have so many perspectives brought to the problems we've been looking at.
I attended the Leadership in Corporate Counsel program about 4 years ago and just really got a lot out of it. I've done a lot of leadership programs, continuing legal education programs over the years. Been doing this for a while, and the thing I really found different about Leadership in Corporate Counsel that I really appreciated was that in our jobs as senior leaders, as lawyers, general counsel within companies, we get a lot of deference. People treat us like we really know what we're doing, and they don't push too hard. You know, I've been on management committees where basically you're working with your colleagues of different disciplines to get to the right answer. Everyone just sort of assumes you know what you're talking about when it comes to the legal piece. And you get a lot of deference. You get deference from your outside counsel. You get deference from the lawyers that are in your reporting line, that report to you directly or ultimately. And the thing I really enjoyed about the Leadership in Corporate Counsel program was that they pushed us hard. There was a lot of rigor. They really didn't show us any deference, which was a nice change, and really caused us to kind of think through things, you know, kind of critically.
I've been in other programs on law, on several disciplines, and I had also an MBA on business administration. So I have been told about leadership and things like that. But what surprised me the most was that it is possible to construct a discipline of professional behavior related to the general counsel profession. The experiences of my fellow colleagues in the program were not far from mine, but were all over the world. And as Professor David Wilkins said, it is one of the loneliest profession in the world. It's difficult to understand what we are doing, but it's very easy to comprehend what another general counsel is doing all around the world, if you know your profession. Being in the room, it is like at the same time being in a university and listening exposures and lectures from very learned fellows, and at the same time to be chatting with colleagues on an atmosphere where almost any experience is possible to be shared from the worst of the experiences in the professional practice to the biggest of the success, and to be chatting among colleagues on what is the essential of the essence of our profession and of our attitude to life, to professional life, I mean.
I think the unique challenge that most corporate counsel people face is that particularly at a senior level, I'm speaking as somebody, you know, who's currently and has been for a while in general counsel positions. The real challenges are that any business will face a myriad of legal issues, and the challenge is really to pull them all together. Every you know, burp, every whimper that a business makes, you know, kind of on purpose or by accident has some legal implication. And it's really pulling it all together and understanding how to position a business so that it's in a good position defensively and offensively. One real benefit of the LCC program was just reminding me, and I think reminding attendees, that you know, you really benefit sometimes from blue sky thinking and sitting back and kind of considering things. Again, it was the opportunity to remind myself that you know, it's okay to sit back and think about things, you know, deeply on a regular basis.
To understand what are the ethical relationship with the client. That means that it is very easy for a general counsel that is a part of a company and that every day works with a lot of fellows from several disciplines to understand that we have to stand as lawyers in the middle of the company. So that means that we cannot take part in certain business adventures because we will run the risk of being less than lawyers and more than partners. We have to balance always our position between being a consigliere or being a partner, or being so independent from the business that you cannot understand what the business is going.
The challenges we face are numerous and growing, I think. What I like about the Harvard Executive Education Program is that they're teaching us the stuff we didn't learn in law school that's going to help make it easier to deal with those challenges in the workplace. A lot of the people you work with when you're in-house, of course, went through some sort of business school training. They've got some common touch points, they've got some common language, they've been exposed to some concepts that, of course, every school will do differently, but there's some commonality there that is quite different than what we learned in law school. This program, the Leadership and Corporate Counsel program, has been very helpful in bridging some of that, understanding a little what's going on in the minds of our colleagues, how they have found ways to be successful in these kinds of organizations and achieve the kinds of success that is expected of us. Because, of course, our colleagues in the workplace expect us to be like them in many ways. This has been a great way to help take the knowledge, the skill, the judgment that comes with being a lawyer and make it actually concrete and bring it to life in the workplace.
I think, when you go to a program where you're sitting with people who do what you do, and nothing gets raised that causes you to say, oh gosh, that was one that was never on my radar screen. I think it causes you to go back with a renewed sense of, kind of purpose and confidence that, you're on the right path.
The program, it really first, I don't think it's anything comparable in my experience on the world. You are going to find a lot of fellows from different companies that had more or less the same problems as you, and they got their own answers that could help you in the future. The experience of the teachers, of the chair, are incomparable, and the atmosphere, the cases, the desire of the people to work and to strain as much as possible the cases and the experiences, the mutual experiences, is something that is not comparable. Please go.
I think what stands out about this program that I've really appreciated is that David and Scott, I guess in particular, as the leaders of this, have taken the time to develop a program that accounts for the realities of in-house counsel. The two of them know very well, it seems, what we're going through. They've been able to provide context for examples and present the discussion in a way that really connects with what it is we experience day to day. One of the things that stood out this morning as part of the Leadership in Corporate Counsel course was motivating your team. And Scott was able to take it beyond some of the traditional concepts that you may have been exposed to as you work your way through a corporation. He brought in some research that some of the psychologists have been doing about what motivates different people. And of course, that's a very complex problem. There is no easy answer or one-size-fits-all kind of answer. But Scott was really skilled at helping us understand a number of different factors, some perspectives I hadn't heard before, that I think are going to be very useful in my reflection about what I can do with my team to help them progress, advance in their careers, and be better partners for our business colleagues. And that makes the Leadership in Corporate Counsel course, I think, exceptionally valuable because they have a really good grounding in our reality, a really good grounding in what's taking place in the market for legal services and the changes that are taking place within the profession. You can think of David's work in particular with the Center on the Legal Profession. They bring that together in a way that's very interactive and leaves you feeling very well grounded in the material, though of course they'll admit there's no right answer to a lot of this stuff. So very comforting that way, but I think that combination of understanding the in-house world and understanding what's taking place in the market is something that makes it very valuable and very unique.